My name's Cindy. I'm the head of strategy in Grey, Malaysia. Well, I live pretty modestly. It's pretty simple, very low commitments, don't have any high needs, I guess. That's how you can call it. And I work in an industry where a lot of time is spent on the work itself, among your colleagues, among people who are very creative, always want to present themselves, present their personalities as best as they can. So there's always a need to kind of like dress well, look good, especially if you're facing with clients. But I guess for me, it's and a lot of people are, it's about doing the work, but also at the same time living as simply as possible, because work is so hectic in itself. Therefore, life should be a little bit more simpler, I guess. And I guess financially, I thought I was doing okay. I save at least 50% of my pay. Like I said, I don't have much commitment, so that seemed like a steady way of investing. Well, yes, I've always had this vision of achieving financial freedom earlier than the official timeline, which is like 55 back then, right? And now 60. And the burning question was always, am I saving enough? Am I doing enough? And am I doing it right? Am I investing in the right things? Am I investing safely, right? Because that was my goal when I started working, to be financially free as early as possible so that I can choose to live how I want to live in the latter part of my life. That would be 50 years old if possible. But like I said, that's kind of like a goal. And goals shift over time, right? So the intention is not to work the majority of your life. 50 years might sound like it's still the majority, but it is something that I envision myself trying to achieve. Well, generally, I guess the people that I hang out with, especially the colleagues, people from the industry itself, we don't really talk about it. I guess it's a sensitive topic. But in the beginning, I turned towards the unit trust managers that I engage with for my unit trust investments. And I generally left it to them, not knowing whether it's doing well, whether it is doing good or not. But I just wanted to leave it to someone to handle it. But I guess the fallacy of that is that you don't know whether it's doing okay or not. You don't know whether it's doing good or not, right? So not really. If you say anyone in particular that I can turn to for help or talk to even, only the closest persons would be the unit trust managers that I engage with, which I tend to rarely see. Well, actually, it never occurred to me to seek professional help on money issue, as I thought, I was kind of getting it right. I was doing the right things, and I'm putting enough money aside, so, that should be all right, right? But I guess what triggered was when I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and she was sharing about her financial journey and how financial planning actually changed her life, and after she started planning with MULA. And it was very eye-opening, and I thought, okay, perhaps this is something that I need to explore so that it can open my eyes as well for that situation. I think the eye-opening moment for me is when she actually shared what she was before, and how after doing the financial planning, going through all the rigorous, questions and providing all the necessary things for the planner to look at, right? Things actually turned around for her, and it actually shows in her lifestyle. So that was the trigger point, and I felt like, you know what? I want to experience that as well. Well, of course, in the beginning it's always like, is the person going to sell things to me? Am I going to have to invest in things that she's selling or he's selling, right? And whether that person will be unbiased towards my needs or not, or whether the opinions that come will fulfill what I want to achieve or not. So those were some of the biggest questions I had. Well, there were two. Firstly, can I really achieve financial freedom by the age of 50? A lot of people were skeptical. They even laughed at me, saying like, Cindy, really, what are you going to do after that? That's so young, you're going to lose your mind. But I guess it was always an ideal vision, because the eventual plan would be to own a piece of land and also to build a farm on it, to be self-sufficient and to live as simply as possible, to have friends come over, enjoy the food together. I mean, that is the plan, and that's why I had the initial goal of being financially free at 50 to enable myself to do that. And the question that I had for that was that with the money I have, with how I'm saving, how I'm investing, can I really achieve that dream or not? But firstly, he never laughed at my plans. He was actually very practical in his advice, and I guess supportive, because he firstly tried to understand what I really wanted out of life, and he formulated a plan surrounding it. On top of that, giving me options as well. If you go down this path, you can achieve it this way. If you go down this path, it'll be less or it'll be more. So it really depends on what I want to do. Well, I guess I like the way how the options are presented to me as options. It's not something that you have to do this in order to achieve this particular dream. If you don't do this, you're going to fail. So that was never part of the conversation. It was always about him respecting the plan that I had in mind and helping me achieve it and giving me options. On top of that, it wasn't just like different pathways for me to follow. It was also the challenge that he issued to me. Yes, this would be the ideal number for you to achieve in order for you to lead you to your goal, right? But he also challenged me like, you know what? A better option is that if you doubled it. And that kind of stuck to me, because every time I think about buying something or think about spending, that new goal that he set, that new challenge that he set is always at the back of my mind, and you always reconsider, okay, do I really need this? And will this edify or even help me achieve my goal? So those are the couple of things I really like about what he did. And I guess he also gave suggestion how to optimize my current spending. So it wasn't just about future planning, but it was also about what do you do in the present in order for you to achieve your financial goal at the end of the day. If you recall, I was talking about how the dream is to own a farm. But halfway through the 1 year, I decided, you know what, I really want to renovate that single-story landed property that I have, so that I can move in and experience life there, because apartment life after 10 years, right? So that wasn't part of the plan, but what I really liked about making that decision was that there was no sense of I shouldn't be doing it, because as I was talking to the financial planner, he never imposed that I shouldn't be doing something like that. The advice was, if it makes you happy, great, go ahead and do it if you have the means. And when you do decide to do it, we can relook at your plan again and restructure everything. So I think having that as the advice, having someone who has your back in that sense, right, gives me the comfort to make that kind of decision, even though it doesn't really add to my final goal. But at the end of the day, it was something that, at one point in life, things shift and you want something else, and that's what I did. I think if I were to capture that experience in one word, it would be confidence. Because knowing somebody who has my back, knowing somebody who knows my financial background, my financial goals, and giving me the right kind of advice, giving me options of directions for me to choose from, and still looking out for my needs, even when I choose differently, gives me control, or makes me feel like I have control. And that gives me confidence that I'm doing the right thing for my financial future. It's never too late to start planning. It's never too late to dream something that you want later in life and start doing it now. And I guess the other one that I would say is that, life will get busy, work will get busy, but at the end of the day, you also need to take care of yourself, whether you are, single or married, or if you have children or not, right? Financial planning is important, because at the end of the day, even if it's just you alone, there is a need for you to take care of yourself and your loved ones. But if you have a family, it's even more important for you to do that. So yeah, I think what I would tell them is that start now. Don't wait. There's always a need for you to plan your financial future.